Hey everybody, welcome to the Survivor's Edge, and today we are going through a mall somewhere in the Midwest. Now, I began walking through the mall, even though, yes, I know it's closed, but they have it open for mall walkers and employees that come in got off early. And I got an idea, just walking around noticing a few things. How can you use a mall in a emergency, grit down, or fall of Rome scenario? What supplies can you get? How can you use the actual structure itself? So on and so forth. And so this is what I'm coming up with so far. Leave any comments, questions, anything below. Trolls are not accepted. Alright, so here we go. Alright, first we'll go with the food court. Obviously, you can get food of all kinds here, as long as it's still good. You can also get clothing. So we're going with the basics. You can get clothing, depending on which shop you go into. You can also get vitamins. Say if they have a GNC store. And you don't have to get food from just a food court. A lot of it is just, some of it is somewhat good for you. A lot of it is mainly, I'll say, filler. Like Chinese food is probably not the greatest food to get, or try to cook yourself in a grit down scenario or a end of Rome scenario. But you can get clothes you can get clothes to maybe replace some clothes that you may have lost, change clothes if you need to. I don't think you're going to find many people to give you a massage or anything in the mall in a SHTF or FOR WROL situation. But you can find a lot of things in the mall. Also, one of the things you can use the mall for simply is shelter. If anybody's seen Dawn of the Dead, that one actually was a very good movie to illustrate how you can use a shopping mall for short-term shelter. Obviously, you can't stay in the mall your entire life or for the rest of your life, but you can use it for short-term survival. There's a lot of things that you can't use at all. Like the mall I'm walking through right now is about to have a fresh time market. So there you go, you got food right there. It's also got a sporting goods store attached to it. So you got plenty of survival equipment in the camping section, firearms, well, what they call the firearm section. You have communications, should cell towers still be around and in use. But if cell phone towers and cell phones are not operating in the SHTF WROL world, then you're pretty much SOL in terms of communication from the mall. Because at that point, you're going to need CB or ham communications, which we've covered before in the video Post-Apocalyptic Communications, which we'll also put a link to. You also have something else you also have in the mall, shoes. You have shoes in addition to clothes. You may have some things for for the little kiddies. If you got children in your party, kind of help them, keep them busy. Now, the only downside to any shopping mall, entrances. The entrances, for the most part, are very, very hard to, I'll say, defend. You've got to get real creative to basically fortify your position inside the mall. For the simple fact that most mall entrances are glass. If you have a mob trying to get in, well, there you go. Glass can easily be broken, depending on the situation. Now, let's see. Now, if you're looking for post-apocalyptic currency and you're a fan of the show Revolution, and you believe diamonds are the future currency, well, jewelry stores will be your best bet. Let's see. Where I covered vitamins. I wouldn't. Not every mall has a pet store anymore, so I wouldn't go for that too much. Vape shops, they may be good if you want to, say, barter and trade vaping items. I don't see that becoming a major thing or a big thing to trade in the post-apocalyptic world, but hey, I could be wrong. Candles. Any place that has something like a Yankee Candle Company or anything like that will be worth its weight in gold. Simply because of the candles. Victoria's Secret. Well, everybody's starting to cover, women and a SHTF situation, but I'll just go a step further with this. You can get some things for Victoria's Secret, but your woman may like it, and then again, she may not. Now, there's some little places. This used to be an Abercrombie & Fitch, just now a mini golf place. That might be fun for recreation. Again, if you're barricaded inside the mall, then that might be a good thing. Little tween stores. I don't see much use coming out of those. Now, empty storefronts. I think empty storefronts would be good to use as a shelter place. Come out of them, go get what you need, and come back. That's your short-term shelter. That's where you get that's where you gather as many supplies as you can get from the mall. The mall I would personally use for short-term shelter if I'm moving from place to place. If I'm moving from my main location to a bug-out location, or if I have to leave my bug-out location and go to a secondary location. I would stop at a mall if the area is safe, or nothing is ever 100%. Anybody that says, okay, you can do this, and this, is pretty much crap. Basically, you got to look at this from a military standpoint. You have to go in, you have to clear your area, secure it, and then do what you got to do. In this case, you come into the mall, clear it store by store, and not just store by store, but area by area. We're talking loading docks, storage rooms, anything that looks like somebody could be in there. That's where you want to Basically, check. Secure the mall. Secure your entrances. And then from there, go ahead and get what supplies you need. Again, use an empty storefront, to go in and collect the items that you're getting. Make sure the vehicles that you're using are at its doors, and basically load up as fast as you can and get out once you've procured all the items that you're going to need. Also, one other thing, pop machines are all over the place. Stay away from the pop. It's not going to be any good for you, especially in an SHTF WROL situation. You may want to grab some cans, again, not for yourself, but you will always have those stupid survivors that want a piece of the past, and pop will always be that piece of the past. However, just remember, you will get dehydrated from drinking pop. You might want to get some clothes, some jewelry to trade. That's more. This is that Asian massage parlor inside the mall. So take in mind the malls in your area, what kind of items they sell in there, and so on and so forth. Okay, now this particular mall that I'm in right now also, and this is becoming a trend, they're also getting Targets. I personally don't shop at Target. However, this is like gold. Having a Target attached to a mall. If you happen to get into a mall that's attached to a Target, you struck pay dirt, because it's like having access to a mini Walmart. And so you can get pretty much everything, clothes, food, so on and so forth. I've never checked out this one's sporting goods section, so we're going to go ahead and check it out. But they have all kinds of stuff here. Tools, candy, knick-knack, bags. Bags would be important if you're just grabbing stuff for the mall. I wouldn't worry about electronics so much. But I'd definitely be going after these bags. Knowing the areas, get tools that you need, camping gear if you need it. We're in the sporting goods section right now. Let's see. And it's kind of got a laughable camping section, or sporting goods section. But it may have some stuff in here that would be good to grab on the go. Now, some people will say, oh, that shit's cheap, da 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 da. Okay. It's a grid down scenario. It's a world without rule of law. For the average person that did not prep, this is what they got to work with. So, if this is what they got to work with, then this is what they got to be prepared to grab and go. Now, some preppers, I've come to realize, will spend a grip, will spend a ton of money on things. Prepping, you don't need to spend a lot of money on things. More with prepping and survival, you have to think on your feet. That's what it's mainly about. Thinking on your feet. And thinking, okay, what if this is a situation? What do I need to do next? So on and so forth, and move on from there. Now, I will say this, you know, yeah, the camping section kind of sucks here in Target, but you know, that's okay. You, as a person that may have prepped, maybe beginning prepping, maybe a novice, you may be an expert. And this is why, you know, a lot of preppers, we don't like trolls. We don't like people trolling our videos. I've recently had a couple of trolls try and make comments on one of my videos. And I look at it this way. From a realistic standpoint, most people do not look at how much something costs or what kind of brand it is when it comes to survival equipment. In fact, they don't even know what kind of survival equipment they need. But if we can give them a guide point, if, you know, if they don't have the money to build a very good kit or a very rugged kit, then my goal is to give them the options that are out there that could work for their pocket. Prepping is all about thinking outside the box, and anybody that thinks otherwise is basically setting themselves up for failure. It's like I always like to tell people, think of survival if you were in the military or law enforcement or any kind of first responding, where you have to think on your feet, where you have to be creative in order to survive, or in order to survive very trying situations. Then you're better equipped than most other people. And that's why I'm a big believer in, you know, don't only say what you're, don't just talk. Believe in what you do, act on what you do. And I respect a lot of preppers that do just that. It's also a skill. Survivalism is a skill in itself. And, you know, my job is to perfect my skills. And that should be the goal of every prepper, is to perfect their skills, to perfect their critical thinking. Because once you do that, and once you learn how to do that, you will be better equipped than your peers. So that's me coming from a mall somewhere in the Midwest. And when it comes to the mall, you know, take into account everything that's in here or in your mall. Again, your first order of business will be food and water. Second order of business, clothing. Third order of business, survival gear. Things that will help you survive in a post-apocalyptic world. So leave your questions, comments, concerns at the bottom. I will answer them as soon as I can. And thank you for tuning into another episode of The Survivor's Edge. And now you have the Survivor's Edge.